Welcome to Season 4 of My Wife the Dietitian, a fun, evidence-based weekly podcast about nutrition and healthy living. On today's show, we're talking to Madeleine Berg, dietitian and author of Oh My God, You Think I'm Fat? How to Talk or Not Talk About Your Child's Weight. It's a fascinating interview. Stay with us. Enjoying the show? You can help others find it and enjoy it too by giving us a 5-star rating or review. If you feel like reaching out to us with a question or comment, you can send us an email at mywifetherd@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit our website at mywifethedietitian.com, as well as our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy the show. Welcome to My Wife the Dietitian. Hello, Sandra.
Hello, Rob.
How are you?
I'm good. Oh my God, you think I'm fat?
No, I've never said that.
How to talk or not talk about your child's weight. That's who we're talking to today. Madeleine Berg, dietitian. Supernutritionist.com is her website.
And
she
author.
Wrote this book. Yeah. Oh my God, you think I'm fat? How to talk or not talk about your child's weight. She's trying to break the generational cycle of dieting and redefine how we think about weight and body image. It's such a good interview.
Yeah, it really is. We get into a lot more than just talking about children. We're talking about the whole diet culture and the language that our whole society has been, it's ingrained in us, and just talking about how we can change that. It's a pretty deep and informative episode. So,
and parents, just keep your mouth shut around the dinner table.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. But yeah, we'll let Madeleine tell you all about that. She's a lot of fun to listen to. So, and
an expert in the field. So it's great to interview her, and it was a really fun interview.
Yeah, we'll stick around. We'll be right back with Madeleine.
We're here today with Madeleine Berg, supernutritionist.com. I love that. And oh my goodness, I'm excited to have you on. Can you tell the listeners a little bit about you and who you are and who you help?
Oh, thank you so much for having me today. I am a registered dietitian. I live in New York. I work on Long Island. I've been a dietitian for a very long time. I'm a mom of 4 boys who are now young adults. And this topic is near and dear to my heart.
Oh, yeah. No, this is great. I first saw the title or the cover of your book, and the book is called OMG, You Think I'm Fat? How to Talk or Not Talk About Your Child's Weight. And I was like, oh my gosh, this person is speaking to my heart. I want to, do an interview because this is it's such a topic that comes up for parents. And, as your, the review or the little summary of your book, it's alarming to watch your child's weight escalate. Even so, more so if you've tried everything and still your child continues to gain weight. And everyone has an opinion, yet all of our helping is making the problem worse. So this book is for good, caring parents such as yourself who are frustrated with conventional wisdom and are ready for a fresh approach. And it's filled with practical advice and real life examples called from your years of experience as a registered dietitian, weight loss expert, and parent. So, oh my gosh, thank you so much for coming on the show. And yes, geez, you've done a lot of work in this, I can see.
Well, my life's work is literally to keep the diet culture from being passed from generation to generation. I just want to stop the madness.
Yes, thank you for that. Because it is madness, and it is amazing that it still carries on. You'd think by now we would have kind of recognized it, and I think we have recognized it, but nobody knows how to change it, or it's just too embedded in our culture to do anything about. So books like this and the work that you do, by the sounds of it, are definitely hopefully part of the bigger change.
I hope that it is, but just to be clear, I do not practice from a HAES or health at every size approach. I mean, I agree with the parents that things would be better if we can get this under control, but my sticking point is all of our methods don't work and just make it worse. So I have so much empathy for the parents and the child, and I'm never trying to convince people like being bigger is better. That's not, but I'm also saying most of the parents, what they're doing is exactly what their parents did to them. And it always backfires and it never works. And yet they can't help themselves, but continue to perpetuate something that we know is, not only going to fail, but cause harm.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And that's it brings me to the first question we had for you is like around the dinner table. So why does language matter around the family meals at the dinner table and parents talking about food restrictions or for themselves or commenting on body size or shape of themselves or others? Because that happens all the time.
I love this question so much. When I sit down with a new client, my first thing out of my mouth is everybody just has to shush. I'm like, stop talking. The kids don't care what you say anyhow. They're watching every single thing that you do. So as soon as you start talking about it, you're adding like a magnifying glass and anxiety to the situation, and everyone's on high alert. I'm like, every dinner should not be a nutrition lesson.
Yes.
True.
Like, just don't ever talk about it. Just serve your food the way you would serve your food.
Yes.
I mean, why are we talking about food? How come we're not talking about the day that you had?
Yes. Yes. I love it. That is so true. It's just, it gets worse and worse because I did a stint at the Children's Hospital, and the extreme picky eating issues that were coming up for kids. When we started delving deeper with the relationship with the parents and children, and we noticed that around the dinner table, it's like, eat your peas to get your ice cream, or, you're not going to get big and strong if you don't have your vegetables. And just the comments around the food, it's like, I love what you said. Your approach is like, just everybody stop talking. Like, let's just enjoy each other for just what are we doing today? What was the highlight of your day? What was the worst thing of your day? Or, just other conversations and not about the actual dinner you're eating.
But also, I had the luxury of having those 4 children. And let me just say, I had those 4 kids in 6 years. So and I was by myself. And so it was a lot, but I would be like, all right, I made the dinner. You could eat it or not eat it, but I did my job.
Yes.
And so if 3 of my kids ate, well, that's 75%. I think that's pretty good. So if one didn't eat it, I'm like, all right, I'm still feeling pretty good about things. But like, if you only have one child and they don't eat, now you're feeling like a failure. So I have to put that into perspective. But I'm like, I never looked at what they were eating or what they weren't eating. I made the food. I put it out, have it or don't have it. At a certain point, one of my kids decided he wanted to be a vegetarian, which makes sense for his personality. And he just wouldn't eat steak and broccoli like we all were. And he just went to the cabinet and got himself some berries and some walnuts, and no one said a word. And that's fine. It was like parents are so micromanaging and so concerned with every single thing that their child is eating. Yes. Did you get your protein? And they're counting carbs. It doesn't make a difference. It's just stop.
Yes.
Just stop.
I know.
And, go ahead, you go.
Oh, I just going to say it's that whole, you're setting the stage for their lifetime eating habits and their relationship with food and their relationship with their body. If they're like looking at calories and macronutrients and, oh, mom said I need more protein. Oh, I need to have my veggies. Oh, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's food. We don't buy calories off the shelf at the store. We buy food.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What were you going to say?
Who even knows?
Oh
no, I think what I was really going to say, just as a parent, we're too afraid to step back. But if we don't step back, the kid can never step up.
I love that quote.
Is true.
Oh my gosh, can never step up.
We can't own everything for them, and I don't want to own this. And the less interested I am in what they eat, the better they do.
Yep.
So you think that if you give them the opportunity to kind of like take the lead with what they're eating and how they're eating, then they'll do better than if you're trying to control it for them?
Of course.
Yes.
You've seen that. Hey, that's amazing. And I think that's what parents are afraid of, is that their kid will just keep flailing and they'll get worse. But you're seeing the opposite, hey?
Yeah, I am saying that. Like, your kid is going to be fine if you let them be fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. Kids know how to make you dance like a marionette. And if you're at the dinner table and you're acting super picky, you're the child, now all of a sudden everyone's paying attention to you. It's not good attention, but it's attention. And the more you act picky, the more they pay attention to you. Why would you ever stop?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's just amazing how many parents don't see that. You know, ourselves included. I'm sure we were like that when our kids were young too. And it becomes this power struggle, and you get stuck in it. And then you almost have to like remove yourself, like stand, like look at the situation from outside of the box and go, wait a minute, I'm being that guy. This isn't going to be helpful. I got to change. Right.
And also, kids don't starve themselves. They're going to eat something. Yes. Just relax a minute and let them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think another big thing is, look, I'm not a micromanager. That's just not my style, not professionally, not as a mom or anything. And I would make one dinner, and again, they would eat it or they wouldn't eat it. But so many people, especially where I live, they will go to 3 different takeout places to make sure everybody has what they want. They're super catering to what their kids' preferences are. And if I knew I was making something a little bit more risky like fish, I would just do it on a night that I made chicken the night before. So if they didn't want fish, there was leftover chicken. But I'm not a short order cook. I'm not catering to them in that way. I would want to make meals that most people would like, but I also am a person, I'm not dumbing it down because I want everyone to eat the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm not having chicken nuggets for dinner, so neither are they.
Exactly. Oh my God, that is so true. And I mean, as it like the feeding relationship, we've talked about this on other episodes about how the parent's job is what the food is and when, what and when, and the child is responsible. How much, if they have it and how much. And if they don't have it, that's their decision. And the parent, the mom, the dad, the parent is not responsible for how the body turns out, how the child's body shape, size, whatever weight turns out. That's not the parent's job because we cannot micromanage our kid's body.
But you can't control it. Even if you believed in your heart it was your job, you can't control it. Most parents, most people can't even control their own weight. They're going to control somebody else's.
Exactly.
It's literally impossible.
Yeah. No,
I think it's part of parents. They feel it's their role though. And they look at it as the health of the child. You know, it's kind of like disguised as health, but it is and it isn't. But I think as a parent, especially when your child's young and it's still, they're still kind of under your kind of guidance or, you know, your care, I suppose, you feel like, oh, I have to like, my child's gaining all this weight. I need to like, essentially you become micromanager with your child and what they eat and how they look. And you kind of just like slide into that role, you know, and even though you shouldn't be, but you can see how it happens.
Oh, 100%. But it starts way, way, way before that, before that, because parents are like fantastic at giving mixed messages. So we're like, only eat healthy and don't eat too much, except when I take you for brunch on Sundays. Then of course everybody can have everything, special treat. Yes, so true. What is it, Mom? You know, like which one is it? So we're so inconsistent with how we parent. Of course the kids are confused. And also the way we're living right now, in Canada maybe the same, but in the United States for sure, we are 100% a snack culture. So we've given up the idea of eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are basically, if you're American and you're awake, you're eating, and that's 15 hours a day. So we're snacking constantly. Moms walk around with food in their purse for their child as if, why?
Yep.
You know, we're shutting them up with Cheerios or a lollipop or goldfish. Like that's something that makes sense. And
food is like the new soother.
It
right?
totally is.
It's how you calm your child, and it's a problem solver.
Yeah, but it's a numbing cream. It's a numbing cream that follows you throughout your life. So now you're like, oh yeah, when I'm sad, this is what I'm going to do. My mom taught me that.
That's right.
But she also taught me not to be fat. So it's very confusing. Like, what is it? Am I soothing myself with ice cream when I'm sad? Like, our approach to it is so out of control. And plus, you know, I know that, you know, the food companies are purposely making foods that are addictive. So once we start eating them, we can't stop. And that's just the way that they planned it.
Mm-hmm.
We can't, like, we're almost helpless in this way.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just so many factors working against us.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's tricky. When the deck is stacked against you, it's a tricky one.
And you're, like you said, like moms have food in their purse, like granola bars, or like in the child seat. Like, so we're driving and eat while you're in the car seat, or eat while you're in the stroller, so that you're not yelling, you're not whatever, it is like a soother. It's a distractor. But as you said, we're teaching these kind of messages, subtle messages, that you should always, like, never be hungry. It feels bad to be hungry. So never be hungry. And there's like constant snacking. And that's like, it's just setting people up for a lifetime of weight struggles and just health concerns too.
Right. And it's setting food up to be the major coping mechanism.
Yes,
that too.
exactly. Yeah, a dopamine hit, right? Just by eating something you like. And yeah, it's so true. And the other question I had, because it's we've kind of talked a little bit about it, but does what a parent says to their kids matter more than what they do when it comes to food, dieting, nutrition, and food rules?
Yeah, does it? I think they're both super important, and what the parent says should be literally nothing.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, just shush.
Yeah.
Again. Look, a couple of years ago, 2 of my kids were talking about what they thought like healthy eating was. It was in the kitchen. I was standing right there. Nobody asked my opinion, and I did not give it.
Yes.
I'd love to know what they were saying.
Like, who knows? There's all bro science and talking about, protein and whatever it was. I'm like, let them. No one's asking me. But again, what a parent says is super important, but in a different way, because we're going into body image issues. If the mom is always dissatisfied with how she looks, and she's always saying, like, insulting her physical body all the time, the child hears that, and it's so confusing. Because, like, to a little girl, a mom is like the most beautiful princess. And if the mom's unhappy with how she looks, the most beautiful princess, how could the child ever be happy with how she looks?
Yep.
Oh my God. I love that you just said that. I mean, it's so heartbreaking, but it's so true. Oh my gosh, you're right. Because, especially girls, but also sons, they look up to their mom, like, just as like their everything, right?
Of course, yeah.
And their parent could do no wrong, especially when they're really young. And, to hear the parent talk about, oh, I got to start my diet on Monday, or, oh, I hate how my hips look, or I hate this, or, oh my God, I got to lose my belly fat, or, oh, I got to go to Weight Watchers, or I'm doing this diet. And, just, oh, you guys eat this, but I'm going to eat this because I can't eat any carbs at dinner, and whatever,
Hate that one. No, but it's like, stop insulting yourself. I don't even get it. I'm like, you're literally your own PR person. Why would you give such negative PR about yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so true.
I mean, I always go back to middle school, because those girls, they convinced you that they were all that and more. And you're like, oh, I'm not really sure about that, but they were. So then you bought it. Like, you just the facts don't even matter. It's how you present them. Mm-hmm. So all the time you're showing a bad self-image to your child, you're guaranteed that child's going to have the same self-image issues that you have.
Yes. Yeah, that is so true. Yeah, it's, oh my gosh.
And let's say a parent wants to make a diet change for themselves. Let's say that's fine and appropriate, but do it quietly. Why are you making it an announcement? Who cares what you're eating or why? Just shush. Like, just eat your food quietly without explaining yourself. Order in a restaurant. Just order your food without telling anyone why you picked something over something else.
Yes. Yes.
What if the kids have questions though? They're going to get to an age, like you said, your boys were talking about protein and all the bro science stuff. They're exposed to social media and all the garbage that's out there about health and nutrition. And your kids are going to ask eventually, like, oh, I should be eating, 200 grams of protein every day because I want my muscles to be bigger, and I shouldn't be eating carbs because they're going to make me fat. And do you know what I mean? Like, you got to.
I have 2 comments about that. First of all, two of my kids were wrestlers, so I don't have to tell you the dysfunction that goes on with making weight and all of that. And, they're not eating for days and whatever it is. They're like, we're only eating chicken and salad. I just did what they asked me to. I didn't say a word. I didn't comment on it. I just was like, only chicken and salad. Here you go. Like, no judgment on that. I'm like, I knew that they were going to do it anyhow. So they just did it. So, that's like one thing about it. And the other thing is I raised them. We have a fluency in how we eat in our family because that's how we eat in our family. And I feel super, super good about that. So they can say whatever they're going to say. I'm still putting the dinner on the table. Like it does. Like, I feel like, all right, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if they ask you directly though, like for your opinion, are you going to then what do you kind of say?
I say, what we eat great. What exactly would your question be? You know what I mean? I'm like, we eat your breakfast, you eat your lunch, you eat dinner, you have all the food that you need. Like you can start counting stuff. I think that's no quality of life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
Interesting. Yeah. There's so many dynamics around and different dynamics in every household. I'm sure that it just makes it so challenging to, you almost have to deal with it one by one.
Well, you kind of have to deal with what their parents are like, what they're bringing literally to the table. And like, I will not see children unless a very rare circumstance, but I will see their parents. Mm-hmm. And I will try to get their parents to be quiet and pull the puppet strings in a very constructive, quiet way without making anyone else anxious or nervous.
Mm-hmm. It's like you have to undo stuff before you can fix things, right? Like you have to undo the mess that's been created already before you can start moving in a positive direction because there's just so much.
1,000%. Yeah,
it's crazy.
And my kids will come and say crazy stuff about nutrition, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's true. And I've like literally, I went to Cornell and NYU. I have fantastic degrees. I'm like, you're going to argue with me? Okay,
awesome.
You broke podcaster knows more than me. That's fine,
right?
Oh, I know. Eh? Yeah, exactly. It's like you said. You just like the conversation. It's like. It's more about modeling, I think. And
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like with, like in your practice with the people you're seeing, what are the ripple effects of mom being on a diet while she's raising her kids with the child's future relationship to body image and also relationship with food?
But it really started with this person's mother or grandmother who was always on a diet. Yes. And so now the mom now is of course always on a diet because that's what she was modeled and that's what she knows. And so I do whatever I can to have her just tone it back with I'm like, I don't care what you do. Just be very discreet and quiet about it. Like, please do not, they have to practically sign a pledge that they will not pass this on to their child. And if I do, I'll see like a young adult, maybe later high school or early college. And I always make them swear they will never do this to their kid.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
How do you deal with the influence of social media though? I mean, like it's everywhere. You got to have the bikini body and you got to like fit into your wedding dress and look good. There's so many messages, especially for women, well, also for guys, but mostly for women, right?
All right. But Rob, think about this. Parents are the first bully, usually, not social media.
Bully,
true,
right?
True.
Parents are but when it comes to body image, parents, grandparents, they're the first ones where you're getting the message from that you're not okay, which is not a good thing to say, but the truth.
Yes.
Social media is just reinforcing what they already learned at home.
That's true. Yeah. But do you not think that if they sort of, especially as a teenager, when they're starting to have a bit more independent thought, they see all these messages and hear from friends and social media and wherever, this is the way they're supposed to be. They start to question it a bit and then they look for support at home and maybe they get it, maybe they don't, but it just, I mean, it's not just changing how the parents view it. I think it's we need to sort of look at how society, like how we're absorbing the message from society as well.
Of course. No, our messaging is terrible. But here's the other thing. We're like so in love with a quick fix. Oh, I'm going to do something for 6 weeks or 2 weeks, even better. I'm going to lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks. This is, I hate to say it, a million years ago for Women's Day, I wrote some article like, walk off 26 pounds in, I don't know how many weeks you tend to do it in. They paid me. It's, I'm like horrified, now that I did that. But it's like the Titanic. It doesn't change on a dime. You have to really, it's a lifestyle switch. And I mean that sincerely, not like just paying lip service to the word lifestyle. It's like really believing that you have this vision of how your life wants to be and what are the steps you're going to take to get there. And I don't mean like a certain weight on the scale. I never give my clients a goal weight or anything like that. I'm like, it's not about that. It's about how you feel every day of your life. That's what it's about to me.
And that needs to be part of the messaging, I think. Like we need to change what the end goal is and how we're going to get it, and have people understand that it's not about losing 10 pounds or whatever. It's about like health isn't how you look, it's how you feel, like you said, right? And making sure everything's functioning properly, obviously, but it's not about what the number on the scale says.
Because how you look really is completely immaterial. It's how you feel about how you look. Exactly like what you said.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
It's like the facts don't even matter. It goes back to middle school. The facts don't even matter. It's how you spin them.
Yeah.
If you think you're great, you're great. If you're an amazing person, but you think you're terrible, then you're terrible because that's how you feel.
Yep. 95% of like thought is like, what's a mindset, right? And how you're thinking about yourself and what you're doing. And oh yeah. Yeah. Like with the book cover, I just love that you have a graphic on there of a mom and her teen daughter sitting together eating a meal. And the mom is saying, "Did you really need to eat that?" And the daughter's just kind of looking like, uh-oh, like I did something wrong, and kind of defensive. Like the daughter looks a little defensive, but also like kind of, oh, I've done something wrong. And like, this is such like, it encapsulates so much. Like this little graphic on the front of your book. Oh my God, you think I'm fat. How to talk or not talk about your child's weight. This book is just like, it just, I think it's ahead of its time in terms of the messaging, because I think there's just so much mixed messages, as you said, and parents are, they learn about health, they learn about how food and nutrition fit into health, and then they start micromanaging their household and their child's what's on the plate, the snacks, and then start to like think that they're in some way in charge of their child's weight and their body size and shape. And this is just, it's so frustrating to see. And we just need to, as Rob said, undo a lot of the damage, because it starts when they're so young. And as you said, it's generational. So they got messages, like moms got messages from their moms and their grandmoms. And some moms took their kids when they were 10 to Weight Watchers to be weighed on the scale in front of a room of other people. Like how... Oh my gosh. Or The Biggest Loser. Like that's another thing. Like I've had clients where they went with their mom when they were teens, or they not went, but they watched the show, and just then they got the cookbooks and they were just so like The Biggest Loser. Oh, I want to be the biggest loser. I want to lose all that weight. And these kids are still growing. They're teenagers. They're still growing, and they're already trying to, control their weight.
No, it's not good. Like everything, we've gotten so far away, I think, from actually healthy eating. And we've just gotten to the point where like all the labels are screaming at you. This has so much protein. This has no carbs. This has this. I'm like, all the foods that we have in my house mostly don't even have labels.
Perfect.
Like that's it. I was raised by lawyers, and I just hate the idea that we're being taken advantage of. And I hate how dishonest so many of these food products are. And like how a protein bar is really a candy bar. If you ask any kid who can't read, he'll tell you that. But, all of a sudden they're like, oh, I had a protein bar today. I'm like, yeah, well, all right. Like at least a Kit Kat is honest.
Yeah. And it is misleading, because you think, oh, I need protein and I need healthy fats, and it says on the label, so I'm doing good, right? I'm doing good for my body. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
I got a sort of hypothetical question for you.
Okay.
So the parent who's got a child, let's say the child's 14, 15, so they're independent, they go to school by themselves, whatever, and the child's got a weight problem, and they're stopping at 7-Eleven every day to get their huge big gulp, and they're eating hot dogs in the cafeteria at lunch, and they're got their candy and their cookies. Like, they just don't eat very well. How do you get, like, how do you talk to that child without interfering? Do you know what I mean? If they're obviously don't have a healthy diet, how do you kind of change that and help them without interfering?
But again, it's so hard because all of that stuff was set up way in advance. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? I remember one of my kids, Ben, he's actually good. Big shout out to Ben, medical school now. I'm so proud of him.
Oh, right on.
He broke his arm. I don't know. Maybe he was in middle school. And then he's like, hey, after this, can we go get a Slurpee? I'm like, no. I'm like 100% no.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's like, all right, you know, whatever. So I'm saying all the stuff that you're saying that the kid is doing, chances are they were exposed to it before they started gaining weight. It was okay for them to eat a certain way. Right. And then now all of a sudden you're like, oh, no, you can't do that anymore. Well, you already let the cat out of the bag.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
But what do you do at that point? Like, yeah, for child number 2, you can do it different, but this one's kind of like,
what are you going to do? Because the kid's going to start sneak eating. The kid is going to find a way to get the money without you knowing about it. They're going to borrow their friend's account. If they want to do it, they're going to do it. And there's nothing you can do to stop that, in my opinion.
So is it a lost cause, or do you just have a different approach to, they have to be convinced, or not convinced, they have to be educated to learn about what healthy eating is, and sort of shown what the you know, what's going to happen if you keep eating that way? Like, I know the parent can't make them do anything, but
here's the thing, Rob, is that parents are only worried about someone eating like that if they start gaining weight. So let's say they have a brother or a sister that's eating the same exact way, but they're not gaining weight. So now the parents never have a problem with that.
True.
So it's like, it's so unfair because someone's stuck, I always say, paying the bill because they're prone to gaining weight. Now they have to eat different than all their friends, than their siblings, than really everyone else in the country, you know, and they're like, it doesn't seem fair. I mean, the way I think healthy eating is just healthy eating, regardless of what someone's weight is. So to go back to you, what you're kind of saying is that, like, with my kids, like I said, I always cooked dinner. I made them lunch. I made them breakfast. They ate the way that I wanted them to eat. But when they went to high school, right, they had money, they had cars, fast food bags started to show up. Guess what, Mom? In summer camp, they have white bread. Did you ever hear of that? You know, they go and they have, when they go to college, not only can you have soda for breakfast, you can have beer for breakfast, like everything. So they got to experience the entire world. But all 4 of those kids came back to eating healthy, and they eat healthier than I do. So all you can do is set the example that you want to set, and they're going to do what they're going to do. And hopefully they got the message.
Right. Yeah, fair enough. And even if your kid has an established unhealthy diet, you can still influence that, I guess, by changing your own habits at home, and hopefully they figure it out and jump on that.
Like, just being consistent with how you're feeding them and what you're doing, and treating everyone the same, because I see just too much where they're like, oh, but she could eat that because she doesn't gain weight. I'm like, oh my gosh, you said that out loud.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like hurtful.
Right.
Like, to the siblings, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And with the snacks, like when you said we just are a snack nation, there's a really, I do these, Raising Healthy Families groups. And this week I talked about this book that I have. It's called French Kids Eat Everything by Karrie Lebellion. And she came from, like, she basically went on a sabbatical to France from North America. So she's from Vancouver in Canada here. And with her kids and her husband, they moved to France for, I don't know, a year. And she discovered that, oh my gosh, there's no like kids menus there. Kids don't snack there. There's like kids just basically eat like breakfast, lunch. They have an afternoon snack, dinner, and maybe an evening snack, but it's not like they're not constantly eating. Like, it's basically they have their meals, and the meal time is quite a, you know, it's like everyone eats the same food. It's not like this is a kid's menu and this is the parent menu. And, you know, every child, like her kids had one of the rules was you have to try everything. You don't have to eat it, but just try it. And it's just a matter of the same idea of like the parent is responsible for what and when, and the child's responsible if they eat it and how much. And the thing is, I think, like you said, we're missing out on just eating like meals together, especially like family meals together, is something like an endangered species in North America, as everybody's just kind of snacking their way through the day, not getting together, not talking, to their family. And it's affecting how people are growing up and how they're, there's so many things about kids that aren't eating family meals like on a consistent basis. Like there's increased risk of, they're not as, their students and their grades aren't as good, increased risk of risky behaviors like early pregnancy, like teen pregnancy, or drug use and cigarettes and alcohol. There's so many like ripple effects to, kind of not having family meals together. So like, I mean, even that part is a big thing that is a problem in North America, I think.
Yeah, or like no meals at all. When my kids were like younger and in school, I noticed that after school, of course, they were starving. So they would just start snacking and then they wouldn't eat dinner. So I just started cooking dinner at 4:00.
Smart. Good idea.
Perfect.
Because I wanted them to eat dinner and not like that constant parade of snacking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other thing I think about is that we don't trust meals anymore. So everyone is like, I'm using air quotes, trying to lose weight. And when they do that, they eat too little at their meal, but then they just wind up eating too much throughout the rest of the day.
Yep.
Right.
Because it's available everywhere, right? Like you don't have to go far to find food.
No, but you wind up like shooting yourself in the foot. And also that they try to do that to their kids. So they give their kids something crazy little for breakfast. Of course, the kid's going to be looking for food again. I mean, like they're never satisfied because eating little puddles of food the entire day is not a satisfying way of eating.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
you're always thinking about the next meal or
the
hungry.
next thing I have one client, she's like, oh, Madeleine, I'm trying to eat a healthy snacks. Now I have like these I don't know, what was it? Dried mangoes in the kitchen. And I'm like, hey, here's an idea. How about every time you walk past the kitchen, you don't take something to eat?
Right.
And she has a little doggy. I go, what if your dog was like wanting like treats every 5 minutes? Wouldn't you be like, hey, that's enough? I mean, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
Oh, totally. And I think you're right, where it's like, it's kind of a way that people soothe themselves. And it's like, because the whole idea of emotional eating and just, having cravings and just feeling like, oh my gosh, like food does definitely, it's like one of our most, our initial comfort food is breast milk, which is sweet and creamy, and it nourishes us. And, we get for the rest of our life, that helps soothe us, is like, that sweet, creamy, or some sort of way that food is like helping us with our emotions, right?
Yes, but like you brought up France. In France, they may have like one delicate cookie at 4:00 in the afternoon. We are having entire sleeves of Oreos.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
We were never supposed to have so much access to food.
It is.
Well, and
it is a problem.
that's the problem. It's everywhere. And it's manufacturers have convinced us that we need to eat it because it's got protein in it or whatever their claim is, right? And they make it seem like it's a healthy thing that we need. And yeah, it's crazy.
But also you mentioned cravings, Sandra. The truth is that with cravings, the more you have, the more you want. There's literally no satisfying a craving.
Right. I believe that too. Yeah. Because you're just, when you have it, you just want more of it. It's like you're feeding the gut bugs in there that want the same food that you just ate. So it's just it's a vicious cycle, really.
Mm-hmm. So I know, I'm so sorry because all the answers are not great. And I'm sure my answers were not satisfying, but it's such a huge issue that I'm not even sure, like by family or kid by kid, we could even correct it because the whole society's view on this is so skewed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although education is always, like your kids, you said, like they kind of have a better understanding probably because of how you raised them and your views on nutrition and health and food. And it's probably, biased them in a positive way because now they look at food and they've got not necessarily your voice in their head, but they've got, the way they were raised and your kind of opinions and around food, and that's shaped them hopefully in the right direction. So I think if there's more people doing that, that's the goal, right?
Absolutely. I mean, my kids certainly have a certain fluency in it because this is the language we speak in our house, but it's still hard for them when they leave the house because everyone is speaking a different language.
Right. But you got to think that they can see why they're speaking a different language, and they would understand that, yeah, people think this because of blah, blah, blah. They've been kind of educated through our culture and social media and whatnot, and it's not the right way, but that's how a lot of people are, and I'm sure they can see that.
No, of course. But like going back to like your middle school example, like what do you do when, all of a sudden a kid is going to 7-Eleven or getting hot dogs or whatever? It's like so hard when every single person that is doing that. And and now all of a sudden you're the one who, let's say I'm using, can't do that. And you feel like you're punished or you did something wrong. And I never want a child to feel that way. And I'm not 100% sure what the workaround is there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think eventually your body kind of like, it's like you don't like the way you feel. And there's like internal motivation, I think, to make changes with some people anyway. But yeah, it's a tricky one for sure.
But you're right. It will have to be internal, because if there's anything external to try to get you to make a change, like your pediatrician or your parent, it only lasts for such a short amount of time because you want to be a good child. But then it just backfires, and sneak eating happens, and the wrappers start showing up, and a lot of negative emotions. It's a tough position. I really don't envy parents dealing with this at all.
Yeah.
None of the answers are great. There's no like clear, good answer here.
No, exactly. But I mean, it's amazing. I'm glad you wrote a book about it because it's just bringing the issue to the forefront. And, I'm glad that we had this discussion because I think it's raising awareness around that, the role of parents is to like, be quiet at the dinner table. That's kind of the bottom line, isn't it, really?
Right. If that could be the takeaway, they shouldn't be talking about the food. They shouldn't be insulting themselves. They shouldn't be insulting you. Let's just not do that.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the truth is that when I wrote this book, I was super afraid for my mom to read it because I kind of feel like I'd throw her under the bus quite in the beginning. And she did read it, and she's like, I don't know why you didn't want me to read this. I don't see myself in this at all.
Oh, really?
That's funny.
Interesting.
So there's that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So say we were going to come visit you in New York and do like a road trip around North America, and we were stopping in, and there's for a potluck, we asked all our guests this, what meal or dish would you make for a potluck to share with others?
Well, one of my favorites is chicken marsala meatballs.
Oh, yum.
It's so easy to make those chicken meatballs, and then in the oven, and then on the stove, just mix up your marsala wine, some onions, and some mushrooms, and then commingle everything, and you're done. And you think I'm a rock star, and it took me 15 minutes.
You are a rock star.
Awesome.
You sound like a chef. That's amazing. No wonder your kids
highly
like
recommend
food.
that recipe. They do. We love food in this house.
Yes, I love
We
that.
love it.
It's like such a quality of life thing, right? Is loving food. And I wish more people loved food and didn't hate food. Like it's an important part of being, human and quality of life. And, it's so sad the way that so many people like just hate on carbs or hate on like so many different foods. And it's like, just love food.
How about, isn't your favorite? Oh my gosh, you said I could eat fruit. I thought there's so much sugar in that. That's my personal fave.
Oh
I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's our country's problem. Too much sugar in fruit.
Oh yeah.
People are eating
too many beans. Too many. Oh, I can't eat beans.
Yeah.
There's lectins.
So
oh,
carby.
yeah, that's the
So
problem.
carby. Yeah. I'm like, all right, never, not one time. Does anyone came to me because they ate too many bananas? Not once.
Exactly.
right?
Oh my gosh.
An interesting world.
We could have so many stories, Madeleine. It's so
Right?
true. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's wow. Yeah, I hope parents that are listening are getting an idea of like just like don't talk around the dinner table about what you're eating. Just shut up.
Just eat it. Yes. Thank you. That's it. That's really the message.
Yeah.
That would be this sequel to this book will be just shush.
Just shut up and eat.
Yeah.
That'd be a great book title.
That's a good one.
There you go.
Awesome. Oh, well, thank you so much for taking your time to share your stories and your wisdom and all the antidotes. That was just awesome. I got a kick out of just everything. Like your personality is great too. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Where can people get a hold of you if they want more information?
Great question.
Okay.
Oh, I have a website. I think it's supernutritionist.com.
Yes.
Perfect. It's a good start. Are you on
If
social
they
media
want.
at all?
Oh, yeah. Also, again, super nutritionist, everything.
Perfect. So Instagram, Facebook, wherever they want to track you
Wherever,
down.
or just my name. If you want to find me, I'm very easy to find.
Perfect.
You guys found me. See?
Exactly.
There we go.
If you want to find me, you will.
There you go.
And we're going to link your book in the show notes. Like it's on, I'm looking at it right now on Amazon and your supernutritionist.com, your website on there. Yeah. And I think it's so good for people to kind of question what's happening around their family dinner table and what are the messages? What are you doing around your kids? Like, how are you acting around food, around your own body image, around just the relationship with food? Because it's really, as you said, it's ripple effect through generations. And let's stop it here. Let's stop it at this generation.
Thank you. Thank you. Literally my life's work to stop passing this dysfunction down.
Absolutely. Oh, great. Okay. Well, thank you so much. And I want to get you back on the show when you do the sequel.
All right.
Yeah. Right on. Thanks
Thank you
again,
very
Madeleine.
much. All right.
Talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Wow. She was feisty.
Totally feisty.
Oh, it's great, though. I mean, I love that we're helping raise awareness of her life's work to stop the madness, the generational messages of diet culture.
Yeah. She's super passionate about what she's been pursuing here with her career. And it's amazing. I remember when we first talked to, it was one of the interviews we did early on, and a lot of the things we discussed about diet culture were kind of news to me too. It's like, wow, I never really thought about, like how I said a certain thing or like there's so much to learn about this in our society, like it's 2025 and we're still figuring out how to like use the right words and what ways not to talk about this kind of stuff. So we do have a ways to go, but I think education and just trying to make a difference, like one step at a time is how it has to happen.
Yeah, but not giving nutrition advice or diet lessons at the dinner table with your family. I think that's really important.
Well, that's one of them. Yeah. I mean, everybody does that. Mm-hmm. And we think like part of the problem is parents think they have good intentions. What they think they're doing, they think they're helping. Mm-hmm. But, like once you hear something like this interview we had today, you'll be like, oh, okay, well, maybe that's not being helpful. Maybe I should just shut up and eat.
Exactly. I think that's a good message. Mm-hmm. I mean, that just how to talk or not talk about your child's weight. This was her book. It says, "Oh my God, you think I'm fat." And it's to help break the generational cycle of dieting and redefine how we think about weight and body image. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was such a great interview and just, it was very passionate. You can just...
Oh, she was funny too. She cracked me up a lot.
Yeah. She exudes passion around the topic.
Yeah, clearly.
If she wrote a book about it, And we have done other episodes around family meals. So episode 69 with Dr. Karrie Heneman. That's a good one to refer back to. And there's actually a blog that she wrote on our website too about family meals and the importance of eating together. And we also did episode 111 with Amy Stolley about eating together with family And Lisa Duncan, the owner of Activate Studio and Gym, episode 60, Diet Culture in the Fitness Industry. That was a really eye-opening one.
That was the eye-opener for me, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about language around teens and like just how to not put your foot in your mouth in terms of like...
Yeah, commenting on body size or
you look beautiful today, or...
Just simple things that we all do, and we think they're okay, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, you're sort of looking at this under a microscope a little bit and seeing the damage that it can do.
Yeah, about making comments about people's appearance.
Yeah.
We did another one just recently, episode 188, with nutritionist Sarah Garone on picky eaters. That's a good one to refer back to. And episode 13, we did one on picky eating mealtime strategies. So lots of great episodes to refer back to. We'll put them in the show notes.
We also did that one around episode 13. Maybe it was episode 12. It was all about the different diets through the generations.
Yes.
Which is kind of eye-opening when you hear them one after another like that. You're like, wow, that like our society is really focused on some interesting things, and the reasons. Like we get it, you just have to listen to the episode, but it's really paints the picture.
I think it's the North American society.
Yeah, I know it for sure. It is
more so than Mediterranean or other cultures. Mm-hmm. And when people move to North America, then they kind of get into, like, they adopt this kind of mentality of the diet culture.
Yeah.
I see that a lot with working with many different clients who are new to Canada.
Oh, is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet. Interesting.
So yeah, there's lots to unpack here, and we are definitely going to be doing more episodes around this heated topic.
Yeah. Well, like we were saying earlier, we need to education is the key, and education comes through conversations like this. So,
and as Madeleine says, stop the madness.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, there you go. Well, thanks for joining us today. Thanks again to Madeleine for joining us and sharing her enthusiasm and her wisdom and experience with all of this. We appreciate her spending her time with us. If you'd like more information about what we're doing, check out our website. It's mywifethedietitian.com. We've got a weekly newsletter you can join when you're on the site there too. It's free. Sign up for that. If you have questions for us, you can send us an email. It's mywifetherd@gmail.com. Happy to answer those questions. Usually we'll turn it into an episode. It's you have the question, odds are somebody else does too. So you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Feel free to leave us a comment there as well. If you like the show, let us know. You can rate and review. You can, like I said, leave us some feedback through our email or through our social media pages. Love hearing what you're thinking, what ideas you have for the show, or if there's things you don't like. We're just open to hearing your feedback one way or another. And if you like the show, maybe your friends will too. So share. Friends will appreciate it, I'm sure. So that is it for today. We'll be back on Wednesday with our midweek mini episode, Nutrition Nuggets. So until then, have a fantastic week, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on My Wife the Dietitian. If you like what you heard, don't be shy. Leave us a comment or review, and be sure to share our podcast with your friends. If you'd like to hear more, hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media pages for updates, episode trailers, and other odds and ends. For more info and links on what we discussed on today's episode, check the show notes. We'll be back next week with another informative and fun-filled episode.